Jay Spivey joins us from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's happening, Jay?
All right. We're going to do something that many other shows won't do. Baseball. Lots.
You mean the sport that ESPN's getting rid of?
Yep.
I was
Why
also
are
about
they
to say
doing
what?
such a dumb thing?
What'd you say?
Why are they doing such a dumb thing?
It's not ESPN. It's baseball's getting rid of them. They're not happy with with the little coverage they're getting.
Now that's saying something.
And it's true. They have next to no coverage of baseball in there.
This is true.
I mean, they have Sunday night, and that's about all they discuss on it. All the chit chat shows never talk about it. They have no shows devoted to it.
It wasn't that long ago when ESPN had what 3 or 4 nights of coverage a week
easily, and they had baseball night on every night.
Yeah,
and they had shows devoted to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now all they literally only talk about NBA and NFL. That's it.
Well, that ain't us. We're talking some baseball here, and we always will talk baseball here. And it's so crazy to me because a lot of my broadcast career was shaped on Sunday Night Baseball with John Miller and Joe Morgan.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That coverage, I think, of baseball went down when they got jettisoned.
Mm-hmm.
When they got rid of John Miller and Joe Morgan as the number one Sunday Night Baseball team, and nothing against Dan Shulman or anyone else who's filled that seat, but John Miller and Joe Morgan were the staple of Sunday Night Baseball and the staple of their baseball coverage, period.
Of all of them, the one they have now is the worst. Carl Ravitch is not good.
Carl Ravitch is a studio host.
That's exactly right.
That's where he belongs.
He is not a play-by-play guy.
And they barely talk about the game anymore. It's hard to watch it. I usually mute the Sunday night game because it's either they got on-field interviews with guys that are mic'd up,
which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Nothing but analytics all game long.
It's the stupidest addition they made were the on-field interviews.
I hate them. Who cares?
I hate the fact that
I don't care what you had for breakfast this morning.
Mm-hmm. You need to play. You need to concentrate on the field.
You know it's rough when the biggest network is getting outdone in their coverage by the locals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And somehow the local networks took a bath and are continuing to take a bath because now Bally Sports is now FanDuel Sports Network. We don't know what's going to happen with baseball, and it seems like baseball is being shoved aside by all the networks, doesn't it?
Oh, that's a major issue. I've been reading a lot about this. It's a mess.
It is.
It's wrong.
It's an absolute mess.
When Fox Sports, when Fox Sports regionals went away, that really flushed baseball coverage as we knew it down the toilet.
Yeah.
It flushed it down the toilet because now, and Jay, you and I talked about this a lot, there was no, what's that little word I'm looking for? Consistency with baseball coverage.
Well, there's not. I mean, I'll give you 2 examples of where I live. We're getting to the point here once the season starts in a couple weeks where unfortunately, FanDuel now will compete with the Hornets and the Hurricanes, and they get first rights. They get first rights. So the Braves, that means the Braves games several of them will not be on the first part of the season because Hurricanes, like if the Hurricanes and the Hornets play the same night as the Braves do, the Braves will be shunted away. The other thing is this stupid blackout law that Major League Baseball has.
Yeah, that's
dumbest.
I live in an area that cannot at all get Orioles or Nationals coverage because they say we're in a Nationals and Orioles area. I haven't seen a Nationals and Orioles game in years. On Mass. I don't get Mass. We don't get Mass in here.
No. Nope.
So how's that a blackout?
I don't know how that's a blackout. I mean, the streaming services that I subscribe to here in Southern Indiana. And even then, on some nights when I want to see different teams play, they're blacked out.
Yep.
Because of where I live. I'm in the middle between Indianapolis and Kentucky and Louisville, Kentucky. And if I'm not close to Indy, well, I'm an hour away from Indy. If I'm not in Indianapolis, then I won't get Pacers games, nor will I get any games close to my hometown of Chicago. And because I'm also down the way from Louisville, stemming back to the National Football League season, we get more Bengals games here than we do Colts games. So I've had to rely on streaming services for the baseball games that I cover and call. And it's stupid.
It seems to be the way everything is gone these days. It's gone full-blown streaming. I mean, in essence, when it comes to sports, cable be damned.
Well, I got no problem with that, but it shouldn't be the only amount of coverage you get, because
true,
not everybody 20 or 25 years old is watching sports.
No, they're not. They're watching everything else but sports. Believe me.
I mean, if I have to, I will, but I can't stand watching sports on my phone. Can't stand it.
I can't do it either. I can't stand it either.
I mean, it's just, I can't do it.
No, it's just wrong.
And that's why lately I've begun to leave everything sports-wise here in my office and go to bed.
Pretty much once baseball starts, whether they're playing well or not, I mean, almost every night during the year, during the season when the Braves are on, I'm going to watch them unless I have something else that I have to do work-wise or something. Even if I miss part of the game, I'm going to watch part of it, the other part of it. And I'm not going to sit there on my phone for 3 hours and watch a game. I just cannot do that.
I can't either.
No.
Believe me, when I was in the hospital, I tried several. When I lived in North Carolina, I tried several times on my phone to watch a baseball game, and I couldn't do it. I wound up putting on an audiobook and going to bed.
It's ridiculous what has to be resorted to these days.
Now you get Nesson up your way, Shane D. Not?
Yeah, we do.
You get you get Nesson.
And I'm sure as heck don't want to watch any part of any Hornets game. They're so awful. What's the difference?
They're god awful, man. And they won't even lift the blackout for a Braves game. That could easily.
They're the third option once the season goes.
Oh my god!
Because we're barely in. If you look at the map, we're barely in the Braves area. Barely.
Yes.
And that's just stupid. Nobody's rooting for the Nationals in North Carolina.
Nope.
You know, it's funny.
Or
you just brought up. It's funny. You just brought up, Brian, the fact that with me getting Nesson up here. Not only do we have Nesson, but we've also got Nesson Plus, which if there's a conflicting game between the Bruins and Red Sox, the original story it'll go Bruins first, which means the Red Sox will get put on Nesson Plus. But I was flipping around yesterday during a caution for the Cup race at Phoenix, and the Sox had a spring training game. I found the damn thing on the CW because Nesson had everything else going on. Local coverage put the game on the CW.
What do they do up there if the Sox and Bruins and Celtics are playing at the same time?
The Celtics are on NBC Sports Boston.
So that's how they do it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how they do it in Chicago with the Chicago Sports Network, which was NBC Sports Chicago, but that got bought out.
Well, I had this come. This happens all the time this time of the year. But I had this come up, and I actually called Spectrum, which is my cable provider, and they said, "Well, you need to go to a sports bar somewhere and watch the Braves play." Well, what kind of stupid answer is that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
They told you to go to a sports bar.
That's why.
And I haven't looked that closely at the schedule coming up here once the season starts. But I guarantee it's going to happen a couple of times before the NBA and the NHL season ends. I guarantee it will.
I know it. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. I knew a lot of, besides you, Jay, when I lived in North Carolina, I knew a lot of Braves fans that were angry for the same reasons. Like, why are we not getting our games? Here's your answer.
It's stupid. It's what
I couldn't care less about watching the Hornets, especially this time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They're terrible.
This time of year, it's all about the Hurricanes and getting to the Braves.
You know,
it should be Braves and the Canes anyway.
Right. I'll give you a funny blackout story.
Okay.
Again, this happened last week. I'm flipping through, and this was Thursday night coverage for TNT and basketball, and it was the Sixers and Celtics on TNT.
Yeah.
I went to flip over to it because, I had nothing else going on. It said, because of contractual agreement, local blackout in place. So they had it on because it was on NBC Boston. The bigger coverage from TNT got blacked out for local coverage on Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that about a bitch?
So the TNT call
was blacked out.
Blacked out
for the local coverage on CSN Boston, or now NBC Boston.
Explain that one.
And the worst part about the NHL season, I can't watch Avalanche games, Stars games, or Blues games because I'm in a triple blackout area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the state of Kansas, we have a triple blackout. So we are blacked out of Dallas games, blacked out of Colorado games, and we're blacked out of St. Louis games.
I'm in southern Indiana, and somehow I'm blacked out from watching the Blackhawks.
And I'm going to tell you this. St. Louis makes sense. It's like, I think 3 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
Denver makes sense. It's about maybe 4 hours away. Dallas makes no sense. You want to know how far the drive to Dallas is from my city?
10 and a half, 11 hours.
miles, 7 hours and 23 minutes with tolls.
And you're blacked out of Dallas games.
I'm blacked out of Stars games.
A bigger question is, why is this 2025 we're having to deal with blackouts in any league?
Thank you.
Greed.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the NFL at least got it right by putting every game on a national television network. So you can eventually find it.
Yeah, but nowadays to find all these other games, you either need to have like MLB, the actual MLB network, or all these streaming services to find any of this crap.
Yeah. I went pure streaming.
We here in Topeka got a thing called WIBW, and that's where we get all our Jayhawks games, our Chiefs games, our K-State games. All of your games are broadcasted on WIBW.
I'm familiar with WIBW. Speaking of baseball, what do you think your Braves are going to do this year, Jay?
Well, until they get these injuries fixed, this can be. I mean, we're probably looking at late May, early June for Acuna's back. Strider's still not even throwing yet, really. I mean, all these injuries. I mean,
Strider at all this year?
No, he's going to pitch. I mean, he just hasn't pitched much at all during the preseason.
Okay.
I mean, I heard this morning it's probably going to be May before he's back. And Acuna is going to be probably late May, early June.
Mm-hmm.
Profar, who they just got in the trade, just broke his wrist the other day, so he's out 6 weeks. Sean Murphy's out 6 to 8 weeks, so we got the injury bug again already, and the season hasn't even started.
Right.
Now I have to.
I mean, it's hard. I understand getting hit by pitches. I get that, but very rarely do you hear guys breaking a rib in baseball. Sean Murphy got hit by a pitch last week, and he's out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken rib.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Had to catch him in that one slot that anything hits there breaks something.
Mm-hmm.
And they chose to keep him, which they spent an arm and a leg getting him in a trade a couple years ago, instead of keeping Travis d'Arnaud for $8 million in the club option and let him walk and go to the Angels for nothing. I would probably pick them third in the division. A lot of people have them winning the division. I don't see how that's humanly possible. I mean, some people have them as like the second or third option in the World Series. I just don't see that happening.
They have them what? Second, third World Series option? What?
Yes, I've seen that by a number of people. I just don't see it. I just don't
Something
see it.
that makes me super happy this
year.
They
did nothing in the offseason, did absolutely nothing because ownership did nothing. The only thing they did was get Profar, and now he's hurt.
And you don't know when you're going to see him.
You're probably looking at least May before he's back.
Wow. That's wild.
I mean, if he's out 6 to 8 weeks, that's at least the end of April.
And
they did nothing in the offseason. So how, granted, I know they had 1 million injuries last year, but still, Acuna's nowhere to be found. And they're going to take their time with him because of how much he struggled the last time with a torn ACL. I just don't see it. I don't understand. And they're pitching. Fried's gone. Charlie Morton's gone, even though he's 80 years old. I mean, who's pitching?
You missed that stability in your lineup.
Who's pitching?
You missed that stability in your lineup.
So meanwhile, you got the Mets and the Phillies. And I mean, I don't care what people say. The Nationals are going to be much better.
I believe it. They were starting to show signs last year.
So you're going to have to you're going to have to win probably 14 or 15 games at least against the Marlins to even compete, because the Marlins are going to be terrible. Terrible. They act like they don't even want to try to compete this year.
That's just the Marlins, though.
Well, that's the Marlins. Yeah, right. That is true. That's the Marlins being the Marlins.
It's the Marlins.
The only good team in the Miami area right now, you could argue the Dolphins, but the Florida Panthers are by far the easy choice for best team in Miami right now.
Absolutely, it's the Panthers.
And Matthew Tkachuk was even voted one of the best athletes of Miami this year. And you want to know who won that? Somebody who's not even in Miami anymore, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And you talk about somebody who doesn't know how to run a team at this point. What are the Stars doing by raising ticket prices next year? I'm sure the Mavericks. Mavericks.
What? You know what? The Mavericks are.
You just traded your best player ever away, probably, if not right up there.
Yeah.
Franchise player.
And then you raise your ticket prices. What a slap in the face to your fans.
2 slaps in the face. 2 slaps in the face. Because you basically are telling your fans you don't care about what they want, so you trade Luka. And then you also are saying all we want is money, so you raise the ticket prices. Yuck.
Well, I know he's still technically part of the team, but I just don't see this would have happened when Mark Cuban was the majority owner.
No, Cuban wouldn't have done that. Luka would still be in Dallas, and the ticket prices would be
absolutely
where they are, if not even a little bit lower.
Well, you certainly wouldn't have traded Luka for Anthony Davis.
Oh,
who's
God,
always hurt.
That's how
Anthony Davis right now is being held together by Bondo and super glue.
And the super glue is old and it's starting to wear.
He's always hurt.
And he's going to remain that way.
If they give him an extension, even if he doesn't come back this year, I'll be surprised.
When is that game? Is it April 9th when the Lakers play at Dallas? I think that's what it is.
Well, give me a second.
I can't wait for that one. I think it's April 9th.
We will find out here in a moment.
Yeah, it's
yes.
April 9th. It's April 9th.
It will be Boo City.
Yes, it will be.
And I still don't think the Lakers are going to last that long.
No, they won't.
Now, with these two ball hogs, I mean, they're doing great now. Don't get me wrong, but guess what? LeBron's injured again.
He's out a week to 2 weeks of the growing. And I am so sick. I know I keep bringing this up. I am so sick of this argument about his being the GOAT. He is nowhere near being the GOAT.
Please say that again.
He's just not.
He's not.
I don't even think he's number 2 or number 3.
Me neither.
He ain't in the top 5. Let's be real.
There's one GOAT. His name is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. It's not LeBron.
And it never will be LeBron.
I'm so tired of this debate every freaking day.
You can surpass all the records you want. But as RC said earlier in the chat, it's the impact that determines a player's GO status. And if you can't, and you cannot tell me that Michael Jordan did not have an impact on the NBA since his first appearance in 1984.
It's not even just the NBA; he had an impact on culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I just don't. I mean, he's got a little piece of it, but LeBron doesn't really have a huge impact on the culture.
No, he doesn't.
And I'm sorry. I mean, I know a lot's changed in terms of coverage and watchability and stuff like that, but it was appointment viewing to watch the Bulls.
Yes, it was.
It doesn't matter who they were playing.
We had WG. I was going to say we had WGN coverage up here in Maine.
We did too here down here,
and I was watching Michael play.
It could be a snowy Tuesday night, and you still had 99.9% of the country watching Bulls games.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't matter who they were playing.
It didn't matter. It did not matter. Even before the Bulls made the switch broadcast-wise from WFLD to WGN to garner larger coverage, it was still appointment viewing because there were stations that were carrying Bulls games, like I said, when they were on WFLD, because WFLD had patch-ins to other parts of the country.
And the other thing is, other than the year he broke his foot, he played almost every game every season. You don't see guys doing that now.
Yep.
By the way,
if you're going to a Bulls game, and say if you're going to a Bulls game and who knows, like the Pacers or playing a Western team,
Mm-hmm.
Well, we only get to see him play once a year. You knew he was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing dealing with that, and I just checked this out. The 1998 NBA Finals averaged an 18.7 rating and 29 million viewers on NBC. That's on average per game.
Yeah, keyword, average. You can't argue that LeBron's the greatest of all time. He's nowhere close.
Well,
he's nowhere close.
I don't care what age you are. If you're saying that, you don't know what you're talking about.
And you don't. And I'll repeat what everybody else has said to me when I make the Michael Jordan argument and put facts behind it. If you're saying LeBron's the greatest, you don't know basketball.
Nope.
Because you can't say LeBron is the greatest when he has not done something that Michael Jordan has done 3 times. Lead the league in scoring and lead the league in steals.
By the way, to further back that up, the lowest rated and least watched games, that rating wise, 2020 games 1 through 3, and who were the 2 teams in the finals?
Lakers and Heat.
That says it all.
That says everything.
And to back that up, all this argument that that the resurfacing the Lakers and the Warriors has helped the NBA this year. And what Charles Barkley said last week is 100% correct. Said more people need to be paying attention to the Cavaliers and the Thunder. He's right. These stupid talk shows that all they want to talk about is the Lakers and the Warriors. Talk about their teams that are in first place.
I see no lies with that.
But yet
most
again,
of what
look
Charles
who's
Barkley
getting
says is correct.
Yeah, and yet again, look who's getting shoved down our throats.
Again.
Said we got to hear about LeBron's mad at Stephen A. Smith for talking about Bronny. Who cares?
The truth is the truth. Bronny is not nor will be ready to play NBA basketball.
If his name was not James and he was not LeBron's son, he wouldn't be anywhere near an NBA roster.
No, he
no
would
one
not.
would give an absolute flying crap. But yet again, nepotism is real.
Absolutely.
And it's going to continue to be real, unfortunately. Jay Spivey joining us here on the program as he does every Monday, where we bring you the truth about everything that goes on in sports. And we're going to continue to do that. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you.
By the way, sub note, 36 million people watched 1998's Game 6 NBA Finals. LeBron will never see those numbers.
6/14/1998, the exact date. My buddy Bay says Bronny is the Carlton of basketball. No, he's worse. He's worse. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. Good grief. What an ending. Hope you enjoyed it. So long, everybody.
Oh, crying out loud.
Hey, LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Y'all are both some bitches.
Oh, for God's sake. You know what?
You're fired.
Bye.